So, traveling this fine planet of ours, there's options. You've got if you got some money, you get to fly a little bit more comfortable than others. If you are trying to keep it lean, you've got some discount air. They all come with an assortment of, hilarity to some point, because someone's going to complain about something all the time. Someone's going to be, no one's going to be happy, even if they're flying business. It's just the nature of the thing. So one of the articles that I wrote on deanblundell.com was about travel assholes, and I want to touch a bit on that. I know that you did give the article a little bit of a once over, so I want you to add to the mix what I missed, because Mercedes and I have been talking about it for half an hour or so about the different people we're encountering, but I want to know who you're encountering and who we haven't talked about yet.
Okay, so a few things. Obviously, you touched on some really important ones, and you kind of got into a few others that I also want to sort of elaborate on a little bit. You gave a once over on first time flyers. I think the biggest issue with first time flyers is from it's from start to finish on the entire process. It's not just not understanding how tickets work, or going to a kiosk, or understanding that there are baggage fees if you don't check in on time, but it's also not understanding how metal works in a metal detector and going through security. It's not understanding how an overhead bin works versus the seat in front of you and what can actually fit there. It's not understanding the armrest etiquette. It's not understanding when you stand up at the end of a flight, when you put your seatbelt on, how you put your seatbelt. I mean, everything a first-time flyer is just, it's insane that still exists, considering that there are 100,000 flights that go up and down every single day. That's a real number, by the way. And I just don't understand it. Anyway, so I don't really think they're assholes. It's more like seeing, like a dodo bird in the wild. I thought you were extinct. I did not.
I'm with you. I didn't know that it existed. I guess it does exist for people that don't, I was late to flying. I really didn't start traveling till, if I want to be, maybe 20 years ago, but it's just one of those things. My kids are flying all over the world, but when I can get them out there doing it, but I know others that still haven't been on a plane. I got aunts that just flew for the first time. I got people that are flying for the first time. I'm amazed by it. You must be amazed by it. You see people everywhere.
I'm amazed.
You see people
everywhere.
But I give them a little bit of rope once they say I've never flown before.
Yeah. So I don't put them in the asshole category. No. It's more just annoying category. But so if you want to really go asshole category, my number one biggest thing is probably, is it my number one thing? I have it like a top 4. We'll go with hygiene first. You're going on a plane, you're around a bunch of other people. This is very Larry David to me. It's like, don't wear shorts. I don't want to see your bare feet. Take a shower before you go. If you're hungover, that's not my problem. Clean yourself up before you get on an airplane. Because I don't want to smell it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to touch it. I want nothing to do with the person who's just get your shit together before you get on an airplane. That's number 1. 2 is food etiquette. So there's a lot of people don't think about this, but you can bring food on a plane. You can also get it, when you buy it at the airport even, but some food just stinks and some food is just a mess. And if you have kids, who you're bringing the food with, and it's wet and it goes all over the place, food etiquette's a huge deal. And if it smells bad, or it's has the chance of going all over the place, if there's a kid sitting in front of you and his parents brought food for the kid, and that kid spills it, it's rolling into your bag underneath the seat in front of you. It's just happening. Stuff is going to spill from a child in front of you. So really be aware of that. It's the worst. Nothing's worse than picking up your backpack off the floor and it's wet because some kid was in front of you who dropped his food or his whatever.
What's the craziest thing you found in your bag, in your hotel, and you're like, what in the hell is this? What is has anything jumped out at you outside of creatures or animals that it might, that's a whole other.
Actually, nothing's ever fallen into my stuff. It's more just getting off the plane and realizing your stuff's just wet. And it's just why is this wet? And it's oh God, the person in front of me. That's the worst. Another thing is people who fly when they're sick and not really. Well, A, you shouldn't do it because you're putting a lot of other people at risk just right off the bat. But like if you're sick and you're getting on a plane, like wear a mask, like get some gloves, like get some hand sanitizer going, like do the wipes. Like I don't want to, like I fly so much, and getting sick is the number one thing that ruins my job basically, because I'm only in a place for 3 or 4 days and I got to work. If I get sick because of some asshole on the plane who was sick, like that really that's really tricky. It's just really tricky. Armrests, another really important thing. The middle gets both armrests. That's just how it works. You get stuck in the middle, you get both armrests. The person on the left, you get the left side. The person on the right, you get the right side. But middle gets them both. You got to know that. And if you don't, like if I ever get stuck in a middle seat, which is rare because I'm really good at planning my travel, and if some asshole is just like encroaching on my space, yeah, it's not great. Like it just sucks. And that's another thing that people they don't think about. A lot of people think that the plane's like their home. So like when they take their shoes off and put their feet up and it's just like, this isn't your home. Like you got to share it with all these other people. Like be courteous. Also, I think you talked about in your article, seat changing, like or asking for seat changes. And a lot of times people don't realize, especially non-frequent flyers, that people paid for those seats. Like they paid extra to sit where they want to sit. Like, I'm sorry, you can't be like 4 feet away from your significant other for 3 hours. Like I'm not moving. I paid extra to sit here. Like that's another thing is like it's an inadvertent asshole, but you're still
well, and people
asshole.
just don't. It comes down to planning too. And then I think it's, obviously there's you fly discount air to save a few bucks. Sure. And in Europe, a lot of them are discount air. It's hard to get on one of the majors over there for the quick flights. So I just deal with it. But it's we're going to save $52 and then we're going to show up and it's going to be great because everyone behind the counter is going to just focus all their attention on me and my family and my 7 kids and my bags. And they're going to move us all together because we tried to save a little bit of money, and it holds the plane up. And it's just like, sometimes you got to spend the $50. Sometimes you just got to do it. And people think that they're saving, but they're really not. Cause in the end, they're not. They're going to get charged extra stuff. I don't know.
No, it's so true. I have a standing policy. Anything from $0 to $100, if it increases my time or my comfort, I do it no matter what.
Agree.
$0 to $100, increasing my time or my comfort, I will spend it. And sometimes I'll go more depending on how long that flight is. But like $0 to $100, like that's not going to change your life, but it will make your time so much more comfortable. And it's just, you got to do it. You got to do it. Oh, one other I just thought of. So, when you're boarding a plane and you get on early, you get your bag in the overhead, and there's just like some guy, and you see him come on. He's got a bag that you just know. It's like, how the hell did they even let him on the plane? It's so big. And he gets to your overhead space, and he just like smashes his bag in there like as hard as possible. Like God only knows whose stuff he's breaking or what he's doing. It just like has no regard for anybody else's property. Just like smashes it in there. That guy's an asshole.
Yeah, and how did he even get to that point anyways? Like, I mean, everyone, I don't know what kind of like border or, you are. I'm fine with being, I like actually being on before everybody if I can help it. I try to get on.
I like, but
I'm also completely happy to be the last one off. And just finish reading a book, finish chilling, because everyone stands up, and that's a whole other thing. I'm not in a rush unless I'm in a rush to make a connection. It's really just like, it's part of the process because everyone else is panicking. And I find that when people are like, they stand up and they got to get their shit and then they got to get off. And when somebody like myself is sitting there calm, watching the end of the movie or reading a book, it drives them crazy. They can't figure out how we can be so calm and we don't want to get off the plane. I'm like, we're all going to baggage at the same time. The carousel will move at the same time. You might be in front of the carousel before the rest of us, but we're all getting the bags at the same time. So I just take my time. And I don't understand the to your point about the cramming it in and bringing all this shit on, and how they even got past that person, or how they even got past the gate with, with that, or they get frustrated. They're not planning properly. It's all part of it. You got to plan. And people think that they can pull this off very last minute, and it just doesn't work. Thanks for stopping by, friends, to the Brenton on Tour podcast channel on YouTube. Coffee, music, travel, life, all of those things. One page, lots of guests, lots of chatter. We talk about all of it. If you like it, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Thanks, friends. See you next time.